Hi, welcome to my Flosstube. My name is Erica and I'm very perky today. And I'm here to talk to you about my stitching, my sewing, and whatever else. I am gonna probably be all over the place. My brain is a little funky today. I actually just shot like a 3 or 4 minute intro and I was so rambling. I was like, I can't even do this. So before I get into things, if you are new, thank you so much for checking me out. I hope you enjoy what I have to show today. I will chat for a few minutes and then I try to get straight into showing off my current cross stitch projects and then some of my sewing. I love to quilt, and then talking about some random stuff, I guess. If you are returning, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. I love all my subscribers. I appreciate all the comments you leave me. I just really love getting on here every weekend and talking to you guys and getting to know you all better and having you get to know me better and sharing our love of cross stitch and crafts. So my other video that I just got done shooting and I was like, I'm not gonna do this anymore, was me literally rambling about my health issues, because this week I have felt like I've just been in slow motion. Like I've been a little sluggish. I've been like a little bit of a headache, a little bit of I kind of felt like I was getting sick for like a day or two, but then it's summer and there's not a lot of people with colds right now, and I typically only get sick if my kids get sick, and they hardly ever get sick, so it's just weird. And I feel better, not quite as sluggish, but I'm still a little And so I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I think I have mentioned I have celiac disease. I have a thyroid disorder called Hashimoto's, which is an underactive thyroid disorder. I have low iron and I have low blood pressure. The low iron and low blood pressure are kind of self-induced. I haven't eaten meat in, oh my gosh, it'll be 12 years in June. So that's where the low iron comes from. When I am eating very, very healthy, my iron levels are fine. When I'm eating a lot of spinach. I used to make protein smoothies and I would put spinach and frozen bananas and almond milk and they were so good, but I haven't been eating too healthy lately. I would say maybe the last 3.5 years. Like ever since I had kids, it's been a struggle. I typically, you know, they don't eat the same thing. My husband and I do. My husband and I don't eat the same thing because he eats meat at every meal. I don't. Oh my God. He won't eat onions, sweet potatoes, peanut butter, beans, tomatoes, so many other things. So we just have very different dietary choices, and it works out well because I will typically cook once or twice a week for him, and I haven't even done that lately because I always ask him, do you want me to cook? And he says no, maybe he doesn't like my cooking. But I'll typically cook once or twice and he'll eat leftovers, or he just cooks himself. He makes grills or burgers on the Foreman grill. Anyways, my kids eat typical kid food. They eat very, very, very healthy, like way healthier than I do, because I have never made food a battle. If they don't want to eat something, fine. If you want to eat it, fine. He, the other day, asked for bell pepper and hummus for breakfast. Cool, I'll make it for you. And green beans. All right, awesome. You can have whatever you want for breakfast, you know, within reason. Oh my gosh, my kids are already heading home. So those of you who watch me know that my husband will take my kids out to eat. Let me make sure the door's closed. Not really, but that's okay. They'll be downstairs. He'll take them out to eat on Sunday mornings now while I do my Flosstube. And I got a late start today. I know I just got totally off topic. I was talking about my diet. Anyways, I have felt really sluggish this week, and I think it's been a combination of I'm still adjusting to the elevation, 6,000 feet above sea level here in Colorado. We moved here from Alaska in October, so it's been, I don't know, 7-8 months, but it's still a struggle. Like when I run outside now more versus the treadmill down in the basement, and it is difficult, very difficult, especially when you're pushing 100 pounds in a double stroller. So I'm always dehydrated, having headaches. My thyroid might be, I kind of forgot to take my medicine a couple days, I think. So I just need to get back on the ball. I need to start drinking more, and I feel like I could have been more productive with my crafting this week if it wasn't for me kind of feeling just, ugh. So anyways, I can't even talk. Let me get into showing you guys my whips. Since like I said, my kids are coming home and they should be content downstairs for a little bit, but you never know with a 3- and 1-year-old. So this is my Quaker Halloween. And this is a gift from my friend Christine. And last week I just had the witch and this done. I got a decent amount done on it. I really, really am enjoying stitching this. one color. I mean, there is some white, but for the most part, the majority of the pattern is one color, so you don't have to carry around a bunch of floss. You don't have to do a lot of color changes. You don't have to do any color changes. There's a little red string. It's bothering me from my sewing, probably. I really like it. Now this, the only part that I have been like, ugh, so far with is this border. It's a little boring, and I need to finish it all the way to the other side. But otherwise, everything's gone really quick. It's really fun to stitch all these different things. Really, really am enjoying this. Now, I need y'all's input. So there's the white on the pattern. The ghost, a little skeleton, candles, crossbones, and I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a little moon. There's a bat flying in front of it. The called for is obviously white. Someone, I think on my YouTube, commented and said that she was doing this as well, and she was doing glow-in-the-dark thread for the white parts. I would love to do that, and Christine said that she would love for hers to do that, be like that as well, because I'm gonna stitch this for myself when I'm done with this. I don't know if I'm gonna do it all black. I was thinking about doing like some purples, and like there's a pumpkin, I'll do orange, so I might just do black, orange, and purple, but I definitely wanted to do glow in the dark for myself. Some people say, like I was reading reviews for it, the DMC glow in the dark, oh, it acts just like regular DMC, it's super easy to use, I really love it. And then the other half of people say, this is the worst thing ever, I can't get it to lay flat, it frays constantly. So which one is it? Well, I ordered it anyways. We'll see what it's like here in a couple days, hopefully, when I get my order. But for those of you who have used glow-in-the-dark thread, please give me any tips or hints on how to use it, because I really, really, really want to make it happen. And spoiler alert, my next pattern that I'm probably 50% done designing, I really want to use glow-in-the-dark thread with. Really, really, really want to use it. Oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing, you guys. But I'm not going to put it as the called for a thread if it's horrible to use. So if you've used it, please let me know your thoughts on it. Next up, this is one of my project bags that's not listed because I have another one that's similar that I just can't even hardly keep in stock because it's so popular. So this is my Halloween village that I am making out of multiple Mill Hill bead kits. I'm probably gonna do 6, but I might just do 3. We'll see how I feel. This is Wanda's Wand Shop. And I was on 123 Stitch the other day making an order. They have a fall series of Mill Hill kits that's amazing. And I definitely wanna do a fall one. I don't know if I'm gonna do the Christmas one like Miss Oh So Crafty has done. I think she did 9, maybe 12 Christmas Mill Hill kits all on the same piece of cloth, and it's beautiful. But I already have, you'll see next, I have a new start, and it's a Christmas village, so I don't know if I want to do another one. Oh my gosh, I have needles and threads everywhere. Okay, so last time you guys saw this, I had just barely started the beading, and oh my gosh, look at this. Look at that little beaded garland, it's so cute. I don't know if it's gonna focus. It might be as good as it's gonna get. I think I have finally gotten the hang of beading a little bit more. Okay, sorry, I don't know if that's gonna really focus well today. Last week I had just done like these little beads up here, and these are matte, so they're really hard to see. You can kind of see it when I angle them up like that. I finished the roof in brown beads. I did the beads on this part of the roof, and then I did the garland. Oh, and I did some of the crystal beads over here too. So it's really pretty, like especially the really bright ones. I'm gonna take, when I'm finished, I'm gonna take a lot of really much better photos of it and put it on my Instagram because I know it's hard to see on video. So there's the little witch, you can see where her wand's gonna be, and the cauldron, and this is all grass. I think most of this is beads. So I'm making good progress. The beading is a little bit tedious. At first, I was taking the time to separate all the colors. Now I look weird. I look weird. I was separating all the colors of the beads out, and then I was like, wow, this is really unnecessary. And I just dumped all the beads out, and then I just picked out like the brown ones as I was needing them, instead of going through it first and like separating them out. No. So I feel like I'm getting the hang of it a little bit, and it's going a little bit better. And this also has glow in the dark thread. and it doesn't seem like it's hard to use. I don't think it's DMC. I think it might be Krynic if they have a glow-in-the-dark one, so we'll see. Maybe I'll just try using that one and then I might use that over the DMC. So my last whip to show you is also a new start, and I am finally getting started on my Little House Needleworks Hometown Holiday Series. Oh my gosh, and you guys, I started this one last night and I twice started using the wrong called for color. So I had to keep ripping things out. I told you, like, my brain has just been in a fog this week. And I also have a lot of threads in here. I think one of the called for classic colorworks is Barn Door, and it's just for the red doors and right here on the fire station, and I don't really like the color at all. It's just, it looks like it has been faded out in the sun. It doesn't look bad here, but in person it just looks like it was a red that was left out in the sun too long, which is probably the look that it's supposed to be. There is another pattern. I don't have them all with me. I should have grabbed them. There's another pattern in the series I'm doing that I think is a house with a little red truck, and the truck is called for in this color, and that I could see because it looks like a beat up old pickup truck color that's like, you know, 30 years old and scratched up and whatnot. And then I'm also, it called for ecru, which I pretty much never use. So here's the ecru, and there's white or blanco is what it's called next to it. I always use the white. I don't even know why I buy this, because the color of cloth that I use, I'm pretty sure this is lamb's wool. You can't see it on there. I was like the same color. So that's the first color I started, and then I had to rip it out. And then I started doing what I thought was supposed to be Barn Door, but it wasn't. It was this like light brown. So I didn't get much done, but at least I got it started. So there's the one snowflake and part of the fire station. So I did, it's this snowflake and then this part of the fire station right here. Now this, I also am not sure if I'm going to do, actually I think I am sure. I'm gonna do 9. I'm gonna do the 3x3. And so it's a big project, but at the same time, it's a lot of small projects. And so I think this will be nice because my Mill Hill Halloween kits or village is gonna take me forever. I still have Jack Frost Tree Farm, which I have not touched in a while. Now part of it was because I ran out of the wagon wheel, the classic colorworks color that I needed for the border. And I'm pretty sure I got that in, or it's coming in. I have an order coming on Monday. So that's my excuse for why I haven't worked on it. And I also have just been really wanting to work more on these other projects. So those are my 3 whips. And then I will show you, oh my God. Like I said, this week has just been a struggle. I am doing the Fat Quarter Shop Sew Along, the 2-color quilt. And it's blocks from Lori Holt's Vintage Christmas book. And I was 2 weeks behind, because I like to do the blocks 2 at a time. I don't want to have to take all my fabric out to cut just 1 block at a time. I like to do them 2 at a time. I feel like it's much, I get them done much more quickly when I can cut them all at once and then sew them. And so now I'm all cut up. I have 7 blocks total, 2 more to go, and then we'll start doing the pinwheels that are the cornerstones. This one I really liked. This one, I don't know if these are called flying geese. I think what we made at first was called flying geese, and then we like cut them in half or something, I don't know. So most people are doing 2 colors, as in just red and white, aqua and white, yellow and white. Mine's a 3-color quilt. It's red, white, and green because I wanted a really, really traditional Christmas quilt. I don't have one. My mom made me an amazing Halloween one. I have a Christmas, oh, I guess I do have a Christmas one I made, but it was the first one I ever made, and it was patchwork, and I actually had to wash it the other day, and the binding started coming off because it was my first quilt and I had no idea what I was doing. So I need a better quilt. So that was the first block. This next block is the worst one that I have made so far for this quilt series. Look at how off that seam is right here. Everything else is pretty on point, and so what I think I'm gonna do is rip out this seam to here and take this off, cut this block just 1/4 inch I mean, it's gonna make it look a little bit off, but I don't know. I mean, I really, in the grand scheme of things, where this is going to be one of 9 blocks, I don't think it's gonna be super crucial that it's 100% on point, but this is way too off for me. So, like I said, I think I'm just gonna trim this block 1/4 of an inch and re-sew it. And it probably will not look perfect, and I'm okay with that. Like I said, out of 9 blocks like these, all very busy blocks with cornerstones and pinwheels and in between them, I'm not too worried about it. But that is glaringly bad. That's bad. But otherwise, I think I did an okay job. So that's all I have. Not much news as far, well, I can show off. For the shop, there's a link in my description if anyone wants to check out my Etsy shop. I really appreciate it. I sell project bags. Like, this is one of my best sellers. This adorable, patriotic, and polka dots. My other best-selling one is my Beauty and the Beast, and actually I have it right there. Let me go grab it real fast. Oh, and my kids are home. Let the chaos ensue. Here's the Beauty and the Beast one with this amazing batik fabric behind it, behind the vinyl. And it just goes so well with the stained glass. And I was kind of on a, oh, it's so nice. Not to toot my own horn, I'm just constantly kind of amazed. I just started sewing in February, and I'm always amazed when something turns out really nicely. But I was on a little hiatus of not being able to sew much because I ran out of zippers. I bought out all of the 14, 20, and 22-inch black zippers from 2 Walmarts locally and the Joann's. So I had them ordered from 2 different places online because I was worried that they would take forever to ship, and they ended up both arriving yesterday. So now I have 45 zippers. I have enough to get me through for a couple of weeks of project bags. And I have, I think, just 3 bags that I need to make today to go out tomorrow, and then I'm 100% caught up on orders, which is exciting because I really, you know, my shop says the turnaround time is 1 week, but I really try to get them out within, you know, 2 to 3 days of being ordered. And so now I can get back to that. Get these, and the bags are all cut and ready to go. I just literally could not make them without a zipper. So now that I have tons of zippers, I can make my bags. I have some really cute Christmas puppy ones. I have some more summer themed ones coming. The fabric should arrive Monday. That's the order that's got some of my cross stitch threads in it as well. So it's been going really well. Thank you guys so much for checking out the shop. I really appreciate it. My next design is also a Halloween one because the whole reason I started designing cross stitch patterns was because I could not find Halloween ones that I wanted to do that were primitive but not too primitive, and spooky but not like gory scary. So I just started making my own. I have one that's in my shop right now that is that pattern right there. There you go. And then I'm going to hopefully release my next one maybe in 2 to 3 weeks. It's just gonna, the longest part's gonna be me stitching it up, because what the design looks like on the design program and what it looks like on cloth is completely different. And as I designed this one, or I designed it and then I started stitching it, and I changed so much about it. I was like, I don't like this color, I don't like this border, I don't like this, I need to add this. And it's just things that you really wouldn't have noticed or thought about until you actually started stitching it. So I need to stitch the design myself. That's part of the order that should be coming. Well, it hasn't shipped yet. So it should be here hopefully late next week. So I'd really like to get started on it. And I ordered something to use as a giveaway that should be here in time for next week's video, I hope. And it's a pattern for myself and a pattern for someone else. I thought it would be fun to share, and I'm really excited to do the pattern. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. I think now that the kids are back, my husband is going to work on the basement. We bought this house. It's our first house we ever bought. We love it. We need to replace all the doors and trim still to white. And this paint is actually a really light gray. Like, this part of the wall is true to color. Over here it looks a little green. But the basement was finished, but had a lot of work to do still. Like, didn't have baseboards, doors, just needed a lot of work. And so I think he was gonna do the baseboards today. We've already renovated 2 bathrooms, and my husband can do all the tile, put carpet down, do the baseboards, do the doors, do the door trim. Like, he's amazing. He can get so much of it done, but he also works, you know, he's military, so he works all the time, so he doesn't have a whole lot of free time. So it's nice that today, hopefully we can get that going. Oh, I'll do a little quick garden update and then I'll go. This is kind of a short video. So I post garden update videos if anybody wants to actually see the garden or hear more about what's going on. I love watching other people's gardens on YouTube. I really enjoy seeing what they've planted, what their garden looks like, what they have done as far as like fertilizers or how much they're watering or anything like that. It's just really interesting to me to see what other people are doing and to learn from them, because this is my first year having a legit garden. When I lived in Florida, I had an herb garden, but it was all in containers. And at one point, I think I did have about a dozen, and I really liked it, but I never used them. I wasn't cooking very much at the time, and so it was more of just, I like the smell and I like taking care of plants. I went out and counted my plants yesterday. I have about 125 in the backyard, and that is counting things like lettuce. I have 2 rows of lettuce, so I just counted that as 2. I'm not gonna go and count each individual thing of lettuce. I have 6 rows of carrots, so I just counted that as 6. I'm not gonna count each individual carrot. So even counting all the rows of some crops like that, I still have 125 in the backyard. I have about 35 tomatoes and peppers. This whole thing started because my kids devour bell peppers. Not kidding, they could eat 2 whole bell peppers a day. That's $3 or $4 a day just in bell peppers. So I was like, we should try to grow our own. The kids would love seeing how food is grown, and we could maybe save money. You know, the same thing. I actually got into quilting because I thought I should learn a skill that I could make really beautiful things with to give as presents, you know, for Christmas or holidays or birthdays or whatnot, and save money. Oh, clearly you don't get into quilting to save money, but same with gardening. You don't get into gardening to really save money. Now, in subsequent years, it should pay off, but we move every 3 years since we're military, so that kind of stinks. We can't really do anything permanent, but we happened to move in. Our house had a built-in sandbox in the backyard, a 7 by 7 foot sandbox that the kids never used. So we emptied all the sand out. My son and I did. My 3-year-old loved it. Has a little shovel. Mom, do you want to go dig today? I'm like, no, but let's do it anyways. And now they play with the sand more that it's all outside the box, and then it has this little like picket fence around the sandbox area. So it was perfect. So most of my garden is in there, but we started it to just grow bell peppers. And now my bell peppers are failing miserably. Apparently they're very difficult to grow, which is one of the reasons why they're so expensive, because they are hard to grow. I think I started off with 16 bell pepper plants, and I'm down to like 8. And even then, a couple of them are looking like they're giving up on life. I have 6 Buena Mulata peppers, which are a hard to find, rare, spicy pepper. I can't remember where they're from like Cuba or something. I'm looking at some black Hungarians I need to start hardening off. I have green tie-dye tomatoes, Italian tomatoes, cherry Roma mixed tomatoes, early girls, super sweet 100s. Like I said, 6 rows of carrots, orange carrots, black carrots, purple carrots, every kind of color you could imagine. I have lots of lettuce and spinach because I eat a lot of salads, or I should be eating a lot of salads, and the spinach, my kids and I both have them in our smoothies. Lots of super snap peas, sugar snap peas, pink beans, glass gem corn. I have 16 of those. They're looking amazing. I tried to grow Job's tears, which is not going well at all. I have like 3. Lots of sunflowers, all from the short stuff variety, which is, you know, 3 feet tall, up to the Titans, which are 12 feet tall, because I thought my kids would love seeing 12 feet tall sunflowers. Really, that's more for me. I would love to see 12 foot tall sunflowers in the backyard. White pumpkins, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. That might be it. Lots of herbs and flowers. So the front yard has not really taken off yet. We have about 150 square feet of growing space in the front yard that I sowed a lot of flower seeds in. Amaranth, zinnias, marigolds, hummingbird mint, peonies, everything. And nothing's really, I mean, they've sprouted, but not maybe half of what I planted has sprouted, if that. and they're, you know, teeny tiny still. So that kind of stinks. Like I see other people with beautiful yards already and they bought flowers from the store, and I kind of wish we would have done that, but it's so much cheaper to just buy seed packets, but we're not going to see them for 60 more days. So oh, cute little puppies walking. Lots of dill, chives. I'm gonna plant garlic in the fall. I love garlic. Oh, that's something else that I planted a lot of was onions, and they're not doing well, which stinks because I love onions. And I got all these cool, almost all of my seeds are from Baker Creek, which are, they specialize in like rare seeds and heirloom seeds. So I bought a couple different varieties of onions, leeks, red onions, yellow onions, green onions, and they all are failing, which really stinks. I started them inside and they were doing great, and then I transplanted them outside and they were like, nope, not gonna do this. So there's my little garden update. Like I said, I have separate videos if you wanna check them out on actually taking a video walking tour of my garden and seeing how things are set up. We put T-posts in against the fence line the other day to trellis the tomatoes up on. I'm doing what's called the Florida weave with them, because I think I have maybe 14 tomatoes and 16 to 18 peppers. And like I said, my husband doesn't even eat tomatoes, and my kids don't eat pasta, so I don't need spaghetti sauce. So I don't know, I'm gonna do salsa, pretty much all salsa, and probably give a lot away to my neighbors. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We're gonna go get busy working around the house, and I'm gonna try to organize my craft room, just kind of catch up. Orders were insane the first week I opened my shop, and then they slowed down a little bit last week, I think because it's the first of the month and people got bills to pay. So now that I have a little bit of a lull, like I said, I've got 3 bags to make, and then I'm 100% caught up. I'm going to organize some things, take a breather, fix my block that the seams are so off on, and I need to finish quilting my, it's just like this, it's a super bright wall hanging, and I forgot I've had the safety pins in it for like 2 weeks now, so I'm really hoping that they're not going to leave permanent holes. I'm going to try to quilt that probably today after I get the project bags done, and then so I can hang it right there for next week. So thank you guys for hopping on with me today, and I will see you again next weekend.